Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. Last episode, nothing happened. We do not speak of the last episode. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Repeat after me. Nothing happened in the last episode. Watch the last episode if you think I'm a liar. And you'll find out. How about that? How about we strike a deal? You watch the last episode and I keep on lying. I mean, I didn't say anything. You're just imagining it. Anyway, we're continuing on this episode. I think it's the ball episode. Let's just jump right in. Tonight is the night of the ball. I sat alone in front of my mirror, staring at my reflection. It has been a long time since I dressed up like this. Usually, when I must show my face at the ball as the crown princess, I do not put on so much effort into my appearance, not when I'm likely to excuse myself early. But tonight, things are different. Tonight, people will actually be expecting me. In fact, they are waiting for me to arrive. The thought makes me nervous. Ooh, she looks pretty. Fancy. I will never like being the center of attention. A knock startles me from my thoughts. It's me. Can I come in? You may. Rod steps inside. The minute he sees me, his eyes widen and his mouth falls open. Has no one told you that it's rude to stare? Rod turns away, cheeks flushed. Sorry, you just look so... He takes a deep breath as he approaches. You look radiant, like the sun. Boy, I'm the sun today. His voice is so tender, his words so soft that it makes my heart flutter. Thank you. I clear my throat. What are you doing here? I had something I wanted to talk to you about before the ball. It's about Prince Lance. Em told me about the two of them. As I suspected, Rod leans against the wall, suddenly looking put out. She told me she only waited to tell me because she was worried that I'd drive him away. Did you not do such things in the past? Rod sighs. So she did talk to you. Rod runs a hand through his hair and grumbles. I can't help being protective of Em. She's got a good heart, and I don't want anyone taking advantage of her. Emmeline is lucky to have you as a brother. I'm even luckier to have her as a sister. Rod looks at me. I imagine you played some role in convincing Em to tell me? Thank you. I'm glad she confided in you. And I'm glad you did not respond melodramatically. Me? Melodramatic? You must be thinking of Prince Claude. Rod shakes his head. Besides, I spent a year with Prince Lance. I know he's a good man. I trust him to treat Em the way she deserves to be treated. He must be good if he has your seal of approval. Rod coughs, cheeks flush. Man, you blush too much. Okay, fine. I guess there are people who in this world who, whenever compliments are given to them, they'll blush. Okay, I get it. I get that there are people like that. But why? I just have a hard time understanding people who aren't me. But sometimes I don't even understand myself. So I just don't understand people in general. People are weird, you know. Anyway, about the ball. Rod extends a hand to me. It's starting soon, and I would be humbled to lead you there. I grasped Rod's hand, marveling at the solid warmth of it. All I want is to spend every day hand in hand with him, doing things together, bantering together. And I feel somehow that this ball will bring us one step closer. I would not have it any other way. Rod kisses my hand one last time. Ew. COVID, please, get away. No kissing hands, no holding hands. It's not hygienic. Rod kisses my hand one last time, then tucks it to a crook of his arm as we make our way to the throne room. All eyes immediately fall on us when we are announced upon our entrance. There is applause, followed by appraising murmurs. I glance at Rod out of the corner of my eye, and I notice how stiff he is. I can sympathize. I lean towards him and whisper, "Are you alright?" You know me, I've never liked crowds. I smile. And yet you're a dancer who performs in front of them all the time. Maybe, but I'm not here as a dancer. I'm here for... I do not want to say this sentence. He looks so embarrassed when he says the word. Okay, maybe me and Rod aren't so different after all, lol. But it is an embarrassment that stems from his feeling of unworthiness. I place my hand over his arm and smile gently. I, for one, cannot be happier everyone is seeing us together tonight. I want every day to feel like this. Me, you, and you, and you, and me, and together. Rod flushes. Lucette, if it isn't the most majestic ice princess. Oh, Claude, looking fine. You're looking fine, boy. Whee! I recognize the voice immediately. Sure enough, when I look up, Claude is striding towards us with a bright grin on his face. It's been too long, Lucette. It has, hasn't it? Hello, Claude. I'm sad you haven't come to visit us yet. You know I cannot, not with a Tenenbaum here. As a Tenenbaum bearer, I must stay close to the crystallum. Perhaps someday in the future I can master my control over it enough to leave. But for now, I must remain. Such responsibilities are a heavy burden. All you ever do is shrug off your responsibilities. Rod, I am insulted. You're always hiding in the garden or wandering around town. Ooh, this is a new pose. That's a very good pose. Delicious. Doing very important things. Do you know how many people we entertain in that garden? Its upkeep is vital, and the town visits are my way of getting to know my future subjects. Whatever you say. I cough strategically to break apart the conversation. Are the Bagantian king and queen here tonight? No, unfortunately. They are too busy with the foreign dignitaries to attend. Lama and I are here on their behalf. Lama? I'd appreciate it if you called me by my name, Claude. I was imagining some nerdy kid. For some reason, I was thinking he'd have glasses. Wow. A man suddenly stands behind Claude. The similarities between he and Claude are striking. I could never forget his face. Hello, Prince Lance. It's a pleasure to meet you again. The pleasure is all mine, Princess Lucette. He has the sparkles that Claude has too. It runs in the family. He turns to Rod. And it's great to see you in such a wonderful company. Hello again, Rod. I had no idea you were courting the princess. What a pleasant surprise this is. Claude smirks. I'm glad to know there's a reason for the trail of broken hearts you left behind in Vergantia. Rod suddenly looks extremely uncomfortable. It's okay, I already know about that. Wait, you do? Sebi told us. Rod groans. And this is why I can't bring him anywhere. Claude grins. Rod was very popular. I heard musicians singing songs about him when I was last in town. Rod looks horrified. What? Claude nudges his brother. Enough of your tall tales, Llama. It's not a tall tale. You're just disappointed they're no longer singing that Chameleon Prince song. Nonsense! They glare at each other. I clear my throat. Thank you both for taking care of Rod while he was in Bargantia. The brothers paused to smile at me. Of course, it was our pleasure. I echoed the sentiment. I do what I can to assist with matters of the heart. You are lucky to have Rod, and Rod is lucky to have you, Princess Osette. Oh, they're both sparkling. I just noticed they're both sparkling. Oh. I'm coming for you, Claude. Later, not now. Now, Rod. No, Claude. Get out of my head, Claude. Grr. Am I the lucky one? Or is he the lucky one? That's the question, isn't it? I guess I'm the lucky one. Rod taught me what goodness was in a way that nobody else ever could. He helped me break my curse. He went to full Bargantia for me. Claude sighs. And here I thought he went because he thought my invitation was enticing. Lance sighs. I'd caution anyone against accepting one of your invitations, ever. We were having such a pleasant conversation before you showed up, Llama. And I was having such a pleasant time before I overheard you throwing that nickname around. Rod leans to whisper in my ear as the brothers bicker. Everything you said, you know I feel the same way, right? Yeah. Without you, I would never have broken my curse. Without you, I might have died. I said that with such emotion. So much emotion was in that sentence. Oh my gosh. That much emotion. That much emotion was in my heart. That's in my words. Then we saved each other. I can feel Rod's smile against my ear. It sounds like we were meant to be together. I think Fritz. I'm gonna stop there. Rod plants a soft kiss on my temple. When he pulls away, I notice Claude smiling at us. How delightful it is to watch people in love falling over each other. Especially when those people are good people. You too. Lucette! I turned to see Emmeline walking straight towards us. I've been looking all over for you. Did she not dress up for the ball? Why is she in her usual gown? Why is she in the usual gown and I'm different? And Lucette's different. Why? She freezes when she sees the brothers. She smiles, curtsies. She smiles, curtsies. Amazing reading! She immediately curtsies. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were in the middle of a conversation. No apologies necessary, Princess Emmeline. It's a pleasure to see you again. Oh, why is Lance all glittery? He glances at Lance, who is beaming unabashedly at Emmeline. You know Bashley. I'll just make myself scarce. He gestures into the crowds. I could have sworn I passed by Lady Parfait and Lady Dolora. I ought to go catch up. Claude excuses himself with a bow and a wink. Lance laughs awkwardly. Typical karma. Hey, isn't it a bit unfair? You can call him Karma, but he can't call you Llama? What's the big idea here? It's not fair. The smile returns when he turns to Emmeline. Good evening. Good evening, Princess Emmeline. It's good to see you in person after all this time. You look beautiful tonight. She's wearing the same dress she wears every day. What do you mean? Wait, why is Rod wearing the... What? Is everyone wearing the same clothes they usually wear? Did I not get the memo? Like, did everyone just be like, yo, let's all wear our usual clothes and not tell Lucette? What's up with that? You look beautiful tonight. Emmeline flushes as she smiles back. Thank you. You look very handsome yourself. Lance, can we speak in private? Oh, the brother is gonna smash him to bits. He's gonna smash him to bits. Rod glances around the crowded ballroom. Or more privately at least. Lance looks unfazed. Of course. Princess Emmeline, Princess Lucette, I'll catch up with you later. A smackdown is about to happen in this ballroom. At the ball, Lance excuses himself, and he and Rod walk off together. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't have told Rod after all. I shake my head. Rod already told me he trusts Prince Lance. I would not worry. Oh, he mentioned this to you? Briefly. Rod is glad you told him, Emmeline. Emmeline sighs. I could never hide anything from Rod for long. She eyes the men as they disappear into the crowds. I really hope he doesn't do anything to scare Lance off, like a beatdown. Yeah. While we talk, something suddenly occurs to me. Did you come all this way looking for Lance? Oh no, I came to tell you that I'd seen Lady Parfait and the rest of the merchant goers. Claude mentioned seeing them in the passing too. They must be somewhere nearby. Thank you for letting me know. Of course, I'll be with Eureka and Desmond. Try not to worry about Prince Lance. Everything will be fine. I hope so. Thank you, Lucette. We part ways. I head in the direction Claude was moving earlier, and sure enough, I see familiar faces from the merchant. Claude stands amongst them. I smile as I approach. I'm glad to see all of you could make it. Lucette, how lovely to see you. We could never miss a celebration like this, especially when the Grump invited us himself. Grump? She must be talking about Rod. I was unaware he sent these invitations himself. Chevalier steps forward, sweeping into an overdramatic bow. You look stunning in that dress, Lucette, like green. Your flattery is always overbearing. It's a simple compliment, Your Royal Highness. Claude and Chevalier are smiling at each other, but there's a palpable tension in the air. It's good to know some things never change. Oh, Annis, she looks cute. A soft laugh cut the banter. Annis steps out and curtsies. Thank you so much for the invite, Princess Lisette. She looks wonderstruck. her eyes gleaming in a way I've never seen before. It occurs to me that this is the first time she's probably been back at the palace since I rudely fired her. She spins around, a bright smile on her face. This is all so very much like a dream. It's good to see her so happy. It is good to see everyone so happy. The only people who are missing from the usual crowd are Lady Parfait. As if I summoned the knights by thought alone, Durian and Garland approached with bright smiles. Durian, Garland, it's been too long. About that, I'm sorry we haven't been by. We've had many new recruits. And many more training lessons, I'm sure. We've heard all about it. Garland smiles. It's been very busy around here, even more so with the ball preparations. Someday soon, when all things have calmed down, we'll visit again. Durian always talks about how much she misses your casserole, Anis. Not just the casserole, it's all the food. Your cooking is exquisite, Anis. You have no idea how much that compliment means to me, Lady Durian. While the knights reminisce over the meals we shared together, Aurora turns to me, eyebrows raised. I can't believe we're talking about the good old days without the grump. What's he up to now? He's discussing something personal with Prince Lance. Rod snorts. Personal? I hope Rod makes Llama squirm. Mama? Lance. Thankfully, the topic of our conversation shifts after we begin discussing current happenings. The witches talk about the youth they have been training. Anis mentioned she had begun working out of Chevalier's clinic, and Claude talks at length about Bargensian politics no one cares about. An hour passes, and eventually I excuse myself to go look for Rod. What in the world is taking Rod so long? I'm making my way to the crowd when two noblewomen call out to me. Good evening, Your Highness. They curtsy. We came to thank you for the invitation. This gathering has been lovely. I'm glad to hear it. There's a brief silence as the two ladies glance at each other, and then, forgive our curiosity, but might we inquire about your view? One can't help but be curious. I hear he was a commoner who built a reputation for himself from the ground up. How admirable. Princess Lucette, do you mind if I ask you a question? Yes. Before Sir Rod, no one else caught your fancy, yes? So it goes without saying that there is something special about Sir Rod. What is it that attracted you to him? Their curiosity seems harmless enough, but I am nonetheless caught off guard with the question. What drew me to Rod? I'd say he's caring. I mean, have you seen him around those that he loves? Like, gosh, he cares a lot. A lot. He's an extremely thoughtful person and spares no effort in making me feel comfortable. The woman nodded, looking thoughtful. As it should be. A man who doesn't treasure you isn't worth your time. Indeed. It sounds as if you two have a bright future ahead of you. Yes, I am looking forward to it. I part ways with the woman. In my search for Rod, I draw closer to the throne where Father sits. Some emotion I do not understand flickers across his face. As he beckons me forward, Ophelia sits beside Father, a soft smile on her face, but the throne only has one seat. Where is she sitting? Is she standing? I'm too picky about this, aren't I? You wanted to see me? Indeed, we believe a speech is in order. My heart hitches. Father, I'd rather not. This is a speech you'll want to hear, Lucette. Father holds up a hand, a signal that causes the musician to stop playing. The quiet settles quickly. My father clears his throat. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here tonight. We've had much to celebrate during these peaceful years, but tonight we are here to celebrate someone who is very special to me. Tonight we are here to celebrate my daughter. I fight the urge to duck behind the throne as Father gestures me forward. I take a deep breath as I move to stand beside him. It has been 2 years since my daughter, Lucette Riella Britton, became the Tenenbaum bearer. She has already accomplished much in these 2 years. It is because of her we know her this current peace. Tonight we celebrate her hard work. There is more applause. I fight to keep my expression calm as my heart flutters, but it is not just nerves sitting in the pit of my stomach. There is also warmth, pride. Father holds up a question, quieting the chamber. Question? That is nowhere near hand. What is my brain? Brain? I cannot bring it. My brain just to... Just meh. Father holds up a hand, quieting the chamber. But that is not the only reason we celebrate tonight. My father only offers a soft, knowing smile before gesturing into the crowd. As if on some silent cue, the crowds part, revealing Rod, who approaches the throne quietly. Rod? His name is a whisper on my lips. The room is so silent I can hear Rod take a deep breath. Princess Lucette? Despite the calmness of his expression, his voice is shaky. I love you with all my heart, baby. Ah, Lucette. I love you with all my heart, Lucette. The words proclaimed so confidently in front of so many people caused tears to form in my eyes. My biggest wish is to spend the rest of my days with you, to give you everything you could ever want. And I hope with all my heart that you will give me that honor. Rod pulls a small box out of his pocket and my heart skips a beat when he kneels in front of me. Vaguely, I am aware of the gasps and whispers from the crowd, but the sound of my own nervous heartbeat is the loudest. Rod opens the box, revealing a ring with a beautiful golden stone in the center. This is Princess Lucette Riella Britton, daughter of King Gennaro Britton III. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Well, what if I say no? Personally, I would say no. For no reason. I'm just not into this, that kind of thing. Despite my best efforts, tears slide down my cheeks as I smile. It would be my honor. As Rod stands to slide the ring into my finger, I'm so filled with joy I feel buoyant. I throw my arms around him and bury my face into the crook of his neck as the audience cheers. I barely hear the sound. My focus is on Rod's hands resting on the small of my back. I love you, Rod. I love you too, Lucette. I'm just saying this to myself in the living room, just vibing. Can you imagine? A toast for my daughter and her fiancé. The music starts again. The triumphant notes filled the ballroom. I am relieved when slowly but surely the crowd's eyes fall away from us. The music starts again. The triumphant notes filling the ballroom. I am relieved when slowly but surely the crowd's eyes fall away from us. I pull away from Rod as my father steps forward. Before I can react, he pulls me into a tight embrace. Congratulations, Lucette. I'm shocked to see tears shimmering in his eyes. My father chuckles softly at my expression of wonder. Even us hardened old men can be sentimental. I'll have you know, he's been teary-eyed for days. My father gives Ophelia a look, and she smiles back, her own eyes glossy with tears. The sight makes my heart full. How long have you both known about this? For a while. Rod had asked me permission for your hand after all. There was much pondering over when to make this the official announcement. I thought the ball might be a good opportunity. Ophelia is ever the thoughtful planner. It was a good idea, I admit, even if doing it in front of all those people was terrifying. Rod rubs the back of his neck, cheeks flushed. Thank the gods I do not have to do something like that again. Oh, ruling requires addressing crowds quite often. Why is he the one ruling? Shouldn't Lucette be the one ruling? Because she's the crown princess? Rod is just... Okay, maybe. I mean, like, okay, imagine this. Like, the Queen of England. The Queen of England has the royal blood, so she's the queen, right? And her spouse is still a prince, isn't he? Is not a king. So why... I'm not gonna delve into this. This is too much thinking for my brain. And I play games not to be stressed. I play games to wind down. Rod groans. I'd prefer to take this one step at a time. Very, very slowly. Well then, it is a good thing we are both very patient. Rod beams at me. He points over my shoulder. I do not realize why until somebody grabs me from behind and pulls me into a tight hug. Congratulations, Lucette. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I pull away with a laugh. Emmeline is practically bouncing on her heels, with Sebi perched on her shoulder. Thank you, Emmeline. Sebi. Phew, I'm glad I made it in time to see that proposal. I told you I'd come back for you, Sebi. So that surprise you both mentioned. Emmeline laughs. It was so hard to keep this secret. The day Rod showed me the ring in the throne room and you came in. She shakes her head. I was so nervous I was gonna give it away. So the thing you were hiding behind your back was the ring? Rod smiles. Emmeline was so nervous she took it out of the room with her. She almost ruined the surprise. But I didn't. Sebi coughs. So now the secret's out the bag, are you gonna start taking me to places again, Rod? Maybe. Maybe. I'm the one who fixed things between you two, you know. Don't worry, Sebi. You can come spend the days with me if you like. Sebi sighs. You're not going back to Viorica's anytime soon, are you? Because my cheeks still hurt. The music in the ballroom changes, going from a soft melody to a lively waltz. I recognize it immediately. Rod's eyes light up. I know this song. It's for the Bacchantian Waltz. His eyes glimmering when he turns to me. May I have this dance, Lucette? He looks so hopeful, so excited. It has been a long time since he looked so carefree. I grasp his hand with a grin. Of course. Rod pulls me gently towards the ballroom floor, and the two of us effortlessly fall into the dance routine he taught me. For a time, the two of us are lost in each other's movement. I let Rod lead me through twirls after twirl, and match each of his movements perfectly. Rod grins. You've really improved. Improved? If you were to challenge me right now, I would win. Oh? His fingers settle on my hips. I stumble at the abrupt movement, nearly falling into his chest as he laughs. I would challenge you right now, but I wouldn't want to embarrass you in front of everyone. I stomp my foot down onto his instep. Rod steps away with a smirk. Next time we're in here alone, I will challenge you and I will win. Rod laughs. That's it. That's the spirit I fell in love with. Rod pulls me into another underarm twirl. I glance around during the turn and I notice Prince Lance and Emmeline dancing not too far from us. Rod sees me looking and raises an eyebrow. You never did tell me how your talk with Prince Lance went. Rod shrugs. It was fine. That is all you have to say? Well, I only really wanted to make sure he was serious about courting my sister. And he said he was, as expected. As far as I am concerned, I didn't need to ask anything else. I know Prince Lance and I trust him to treat Emmeline courteously. The music picks up in the tempo, and our conversation dwindles as we again focus on our dancing. Later, Rod and I make our rounds around the throne room, accepting congratulations from everyone. The last people we see in the night are the tavern goers, who offer us the most heartfelt well wishes. Time passes swiftly, and before we know it, the clock strikes midnight. Later, the group of us stand by the palace gate for a final goodbye of the night. Well, it's been fun, but we ought to get back. We have lessons tomorrow. Waltz yawns. I'm sure the students are going to be more energetic than the both of us combined tomorrow. Which is why we should be getting back. We're in charge of setting a good example. Delora faces us with a smile. But the sleeplessness will be worth it. I can't believe you proposed in front of all those people. Oh, Delora, stop teasing. Parfait beams at us. We are really happy for you both. Thank you. Rod looks away embarrassed. Delora sidles closer to me. She leans close enough to whisper. I still remember the bossy princess turned maid I accompanied around the palace. You've grown so much since then. I'm proud of you, Lucette. Even teasing as they are, I can tell the words are sincere. Thank you for everything, Delora. We watch everyone walk back into the darkened town until we see them no more, and then... It was nice to catch up with everyone, but is there a reason that Grumpy Kid wasn't here? I know who he means immediately. Cinna, the heir to the Lucis? Rod shrugs. He received an invitation, same as everyone else. I shake my head with a sigh. He's very temperamental. I think I'm gonna need to befriend him before he decides to grace us with his presence. Temperamental? Sounds like a certain princess I know. Rod scowls. Says the most temperamental, overdramatic prince in this world. I am terribly offended. I cross my arms. Never mind, Cinna. You and Lance will be staying with us for the next 2 days, correct? Claude nods. I figure I may as well take a break from my duties while I can. You mean the duties you always run from? Must you insist on being so rude? I laugh. Regardless of why you're here, this will be nice for Emmeline too. She and Prince Lance can spend some time together. And what of me? Has no one missed my company? Before Rod can say anything snarky, I nudge him and speak for myself. No, it's good to have you here, Claude. Just don't expect us to spend that much time with you. I know. I suppose I'd be unwanted company now that you two are engaged. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Nothing at all. Claude tips his head. Tonight was fun, but it's getting late, so I shall excuse myself. Good night, darlings. Claude excuses himself with a little bow, and Rod and I return to the palace shortly after. Rod and I walk through the hallways, hand in hand. Everything is quiet until Rod mumbles something beneath his breath. I look at him curious. What was that? I just remembered something I was gonna bring up earlier. Oh? I happened to overhear a conversation you were having with some noblewoman earlier. You're eavesdropping? You're talking about me. It is good to hear that you think I'm thoughtful. That is an understatement. Seppi has said before that you're an overthinker. I agree. Rod flushes. Now even you're teasing me? Thoughtful and overthinking aren't the same thing. Sorry, but you know it's the truth. Rod sighs. I admit I have some things to work on. We all do, but the first step is acknowledgement, correct? Rod smiles at me. That's right. We both pause as we come to the bedroom door. Normally, this is when we part ways. Now neither of us moves. I know it's late, but I'd like to spend some time with you. He suddenly looks embarrassed or nervous. Me too. Perhaps we can take a stroll in the garden or what, Rod? Aha. I just have a smirk on my face. Just I want to see what this choice does. I just want to click on it. Stay with me tonight. Wait, what? Well, you did ask. For a few moments, the two of us stand there staring at each other, neither of us breaking eye contact. It's a staring competition now. When you say stay with me, you mean... I mean we sleep... I don't want to say this out loud. I don't even want to read this. Gosh darn it. Muster up the courage. Must muster up the courage. You all know what it is. But for me, I need to muster up the courage to say it. Because it's embarrassing. Gah. I mean that we sleep together in the same bed. I cross my arms over my chest, my heart beating so frantically it's a wonder Rod can't hear it. Just sleep. For now, I want to add, but I'm too embarrassed to say the words. Thankfully, Rod doesn't push me. If you insist. He grabs the doorknob and stiffly opens the door. I call on the servants to make some warm tea for us, and I set it down on the table when it arrives. Rod looks uncharacteristically nervous. I notice he glances everywhere but my bed. Do they not shower before they go to sleep? What's happening? This should not be so awkward. I decide to break the silence. So, how are your sword practices going? Wait, how do you... I saw you in the forest or garden. Why didn't you say anything? You're caught up with other things, and I figured you would tell me when you're ready. Rod groans. I'm sorry, Lucette. I've been so busy recently I forgot about the practices. I really didn't mean to bring them up. There's no need to apologize, but you promised me no more secrets. Yes. So you'll tell me how those practices go from now on? Rod nods. I want to surprise you with my progress in the future, but I haven't really improved yet. Rod. I reached out to grip his hands. How am I to celebrate your successes if I do not know about your endeavors in the first place? Fair enough. It will still be a while yet before I have progress to speak of, but I told you I will not keep secrets and I mean it. From now on, you'll hear about every detail. Every embarrassing detail? If you insist. The two of us continue to talk until our tea is depleted. By that time, my body is heavy with exhaustion and all I want to do is sleep. Did you want to get some sleep? Rod suddenly looked stiff and uncomfortable again. Are you okay? Well, you mentioned wanting to sleep together, and we've never done that. If it makes you uncomfortable. No. He said it so immediately I startled. I just mean, he sighs. I'm sorry, I've just never done this before. Has he been worrying about this the whole time? Of course he would. Rod is an overthinker. That makes the two of us. I set down my teacup, walk over to the other side of the table, and take his hand. Let us continue talking until we fall asleep. Rod nods, a soft smile touching his lips as I lead him to my bed. The news of our engagement spreads quickly. Now that we all know Rod and I will be married in the future, his lessons with the king and knights resume again in earnest. The two of us have a long way to go before we are ready for marriage, but now, finally, the path is cleared, and I plan to enjoy every moment walking it with Rod. We have a bright future ahead of us, for Rod and I, but also for our kingdom. For a brighter future, Chapter 6. Alright, so that marks the end of today's episode. I kind of want to eat lunch, so I'll just cut this short. So, officially engaged. Fun. Very fun. So, I thought that would be the end of the chapters, but there are more, so more to look forward to. So like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Comment down below what you think of this episode and give us some suggestions for games to play. And subscribe for more content like this. I think that's all. Thank you for watching and have a good day.